Chapter 1. Where to now? Cal's point of view. I couldn't believe I was with Master Kenobi. I thought he died during the purge along with the others, but I'm glad that wasn't the case. I can see you've become a fine Jedi, Cal Kestis. Thank you, Master Kenobi. Call me Ben, he replied. What are you doing out here? I asked. I believe I should be asking you that, Obi-Wan replied. Fair enough. My ship crash-landed, and as you can see, the Empire is hunting us down. I'm kind of on a mission. So far, it's not going as planned. What kind of mission? Obi-Wan replied. I'm trying to find Jedi survivors. I want to restore the Order and build a new one, I began. As much as I agree with you on rebuilding the Jedi Order, I think it's best if you lay low. Didn't think I'd hear that coming from you, but I guess you've been through worse than me. Why did you even choose to help me? I replied. I have my reasons, but if you don't mind me asking, what sort of trouble with the Empire are you in? Unfortunately, that seems to have been the case for the last 10 years. Now it's even worse, especially with Darth Vader knowing my existence, I reply. As I looked up at Obi-Wan, I noticed his demeanor changed after I mentioned Vader. Cal, I don't want to worry you, but now that you mentioned Darth, I'm afraid you and your friends are in grave danger. I felt my heart pound nervously. Does he know something about Vader that I don't? I turned my head away for a moment and watched as Marin finished healing Annika's wounds. Obi-Wan glanced for a moment, then looked back at me. You broke the code. Guess it doesn't matter anyway. The Order is gone as we know it, Obi-Wan replies. It's not, though. We're proof the Order can still be rebuilt. I want to train the next generation to embrace our emotions instead of suppressing it, I argue. I'm afraid we have more things to worry about. Darth Vader is not one to reckon with, Cal. What do you know about him? I replied. Let's just say he was an old friend. The ship rattles a bit, which caused Obi-Wan to drop his saber. I picked it up and almost instantly regret it. A vision comes to play in my head. I turned my head and noticed Obi-Wan looking down at someone. You were my brother, Anakin. I loved you. The vision became more intense as I heard Anakin screaming in distress. I watched as he was no longer a man, but half machine. As soon as I heard the mechanical hiss, I snapped out of my trance and dropped the saber. Cal, are you all right? Obi-Wan asks. I'm fine. That vision was a bit intense. What was that? Obi-Wan gently put his hand on my shoulder and sighed. His name was Anakin Skywalker. He was my Padawan for many years until he turned to the dark side. He was seduced by the Emperor and has now become his apprentice. Skywalker, I whispered. I slowly pulled the image caster I found on Moraban out. I click the image and reveal it to Obi-Wan as the title reveals itself. Someone obviously wanted us to find this. I think it was meant for you. I examined it countless times and noticed there was more underneath the Skywalker name, but I can't make it out. Obi-Wan holds the image caster and examines it closely. He pulls out a mini tool and cracks open the image caster. A note falls out and I pick it up. What is said to be like a throne and sounds like a gene? A queen, Obi-Wan finishes. The Queen of Naboo? Why would she send something like this? I reply. Before either of us could respond, Grease walks over and sits down. Alright, so what's the plan? I overheard the droids up ahead that we're going to be landing on Naboo. I look at Obi-Wan and smile a bit. Looks like our plan has just begun. Time skip. Annika's point of view. Wow, I really missed out on the excitement, I reply. Not quite. This is where the fun is about to start, Cal replies as he adjusts my robe. Posing as the Queen's bodyguards while I pose as her handmaiden. That's quite the risky plan, Cal. What else is new? We don't really have any other choice. It's the only way I can get in contact. I just hope this doesn't backfire, I reply. It won't. Besides, if anything goes wrong, we'll have Marin and Grease to get us out in time. How? We don't even have a ship yet, I pointed out. We will soon enough. Just trust me on this, all right? Okay, fine. By the way, how did you smuggle a security guard's uniform? It's best if you don't know, Cal replied. I chuckled lightly and shook my head. Once he finished adjusting my robe, I stood back and pulled my hood over my head. You ready? He asks. As I'll ever be. Good luck, kids. Keep us posted when you've got a safe haven for us to rest, said Grease. Will do. Stay safe, you two, Cal replied. As we walked down the courtyard of the palace, I took in my surroundings of the incredible structure. Obi-Wan and Cal followed the other guards, while I wandered off to the gardens, hoping to find someone to take me in. Maybe this was a bad strategy. Calm down, Annika. Don't think like that. Just let the Force guide you. I took a deep breath and walked further down. I saw a tall mausoleum up ahead and knew I was headed in the wrong direction, but something about it drew me towards it. I went up the stairs one by one, only to discover a bunch of candles and flowers all around a picture of a stained glass portrait of a woman. As I walked closer, I felt a strong aura all around me. I read the name underneath and saw the inscribing. Padme Amidala, former queen and senator of Naboo. Something gripped my shoulder, forcing me to turn around, which freaked me out at first until I realized that it was just a guard. Surprisingly, I wasn't intimidated in the slightest. What do you think you're doing here? The man snapped. You know you're not allowed here. It's all right. She's with me, said a soft voice. As the guard pulled away, I felt my nerves kick in as the Queen of Naboo herself stood before me. I quickly bowed down in respect so I wouldn't blow my cover even more. Your Highness, I'm so sorry for wandering off. No need to apologize, and please don't bow. There's no need. That'll be all, John, she implied to the guard. The guard nodded in response and took off. What's your name? I don't believe I've met you yet. Annika Jallo, Your Grace. What a beautiful name. It's a pleasure to meet you, Annika. I would very much like it if you called me by my name, Apalana. Please, follow me. I followed the queen closely behind and kept my head down. As nervous as I was, I could tell her intentions were indeed pure. That's a bit of a relief, considering our mission is already getting us into all kinds of trouble since the start. Hopefully Obi-Wan and Cal have just as much luck as I did. End of Chapter 1.